Hey guys, Think the Master 51 here, or 1911 Man, here to do another video. This is more of an update video for both of my current sidearms. There is, I believe, one missing. It is missing a slide and most of its parts. Actually, there's two missing. My other one is kind of downstairs, the P14 that I just previously reviewed. Not necessarily a sidearm, more of a novelty. Practicality of that gun, due to its age, isn't what I'd call fieldable. Just some error, or just some things I've run into, making it just kind of not really for me. I am going to keep it unless you guys give me an offer. But, yeah, my plan is to keep it. I do really like it. I have put another barrel on it. I mean, it's got some modifications to it that kind of want to make it my own. Just like both of these handguns. Don't plan on selling them. But, this video is actually just for these guys. But let me start out by saying it's not necessarily good, it's not necessarily bad. The context of the video isn't good or bad. But I am going to start out on a bad note, unfortunately, and it's not my 1911. Yay. Thank God, that would have been bad. Just get it, and it sucks already, right? Some bad news with my PX4 that has been remedied. And we are empty, no BBs, no gas. No gas, and we're clear in the chamber. People keep asking me why I do that. I've made this comment before. I treat all things that shoot projectiles, not really, I don't know why I did that, but anything that shoots projectiles as a real firearm. I mean, it still hurts, and I don't want to get shot, so, you know, pain still hurts. But, and I'm around firearms a lot, so I tend to treat everything as if they were real guns. I mean, if I start treating these like real guns, and they're pretty much like real guns. I mean, they do almost everything a real gun does. So if I start dicking around with these, then I'll dick around with real firearms, and it creates bad habits. So, I mean, might as well just keep the good habit going. So, my PX4. Over the past year, or if not a little bit more, this is the longest time I've ever had a airsoft gun, ever, actually. Well, no, I take that back. I've had my M4 for longer. There will be a couple videos of that coming up. But this handgun is the longest handgun I've ever owned. It's the longest lasting handgun I've ever owned. And inherently, it's going to have some issues. Every gun breaks every now and again, especially with the usage that it gets. This is a heavy sentimental gun to me, obviously. I mean, it's been painted. It's been stippled, magazine well's been beveled quite nicely, I might add. The back strap has been ground down flat. New barrel, $60, I might add. And unfortunately, we have had some breakages with this gun. One of which was my fault, the barrel. I dicked around with that, and unfortunately, I paid the price for it. But what I'm talking about here is I have experienced some breakages with the springs. I've experienced 2 breakages with the trigger spring, one of which happened last night, or happened a couple nights ago, and the most current breakage was actually the trigger bar spring, the one that keeps it upright, that little spring. It's also on an M9, it's under the grips, and it springs out at you, and it's that bar that connects to the trigger. Same thing here, pretty much same mechanism. I have experienced a breakage with that last night, and lucky enough, I had another frame laid around that had a spring inside of it, but that is something definitely to look out for. The PX4, even the Marui ones I've heard have had some breakages, especially with their springs. That's definitely one of their downfalls, unfortunately. So I just wanted to give you guys an update, but one of my main updates was the breakages and the back strap here. Completely ground down flat. I really like it, nice and smooth in the back and then stippled on everywhere else. And I got a light. You may have seen that in my 1911 unboxing video. But yeah, but basically so far this gun has been doing pretty good, other than those breakages, which I was lucky enough to jerry rig a new trigger spring that works even better. It's lightened up the trigger pull substantially, but it still springs back into action. So I'm going to try to watch out for that. Hopefully the different spring is going to be a little bit more resilient to wear and tear, hopefully. I think I'm just going to go out and try to buy a baggie of those springs, but, you know. For now, this will do, and, yeah, so that's pretty much my update on my PX4. So, yeah. Oh, and it looks really sick. I think it looks really nice like that. The light, small grip, threaded outer barrel. I think it looks awesome. Or it wouldn't look like this. Alright, next we have my second pride and joy. My my KGW 1911. This is one of my other pride and joys, other than my PX4. This is definitely one of my favorite guns I've ever had. Not only does it say Springfield Armory, but it just feels right. Now, unfortunately, I was not able to, or I didn't want to keep the grips that came on it originally. I like these a lot more. But apparently my friend doesn't share the same thoughts, as I let him hold it, and he told me it felt like holding a one of those graters. It's a very aggressive texture on here. I will give him that. It is incredibly aggressive. I like aggressive textures. That's just for me. And then, so I just wanted to give you guys an update on this. After the video, I decided to go ahead and fit another trigger, a 3-hole trigger, instead of the 2 squarey block trigger that came on it originally. The difference between this trigger, other than being a 3-hole trigger, is that it is non-adjustable. I was running into some issues is when I would use that other trigger, the over-travel screw inside of it, a little grub screw, would tend to back out. It would just back out and back out until it completely reset itself, which was not necessarily a good thing, and I didn't really feel like Loctiting that because it was so close to other such vital internal parts. So I like that trigger a lot better, so I decided to go ahead and replace it. And this has made the trigger pull just so great. Oop, man, knocked the table. There's like no take up whatsoever. It's just a nice, it's a very stiff trigger, I will say that. And very nice, clean break. And it is just great. Nice, clean break. There it is. It is, I love it. It is so nice. So I think I definitely did a good job fitting this. Now, I will say getting the little roll pin out was a son of a bitch. I did not like it. It was not fun, and I do not ever want to do that again because it sucked. So that is one note to note, I guess. One note on this. I did not like that. Another thing that sucked was fitting these sights. I definitely touched on that in my unboxing video, but I did not enjoy fitting those sights. I ended up having to epoxy some of these, metal epoxy, some inside of here because it was wobbling a little bit, and I was afraid if I racked it off a belt, it would pop off. So that's not good. But after my unboxing video, I decided to go ahead and do a torture test on this and throw it and completely fill it up with the finest powder I had around, which happened to be flour. A lot of you guys are gonna be like, "What the hell is that supposed to do?" Well, flour is a very nice, fine, powdery substance. It's flour, obviously, and it gets everywhere. There's nowhere flour cannot get. And I decided to do a reliability test with flour. I threw it in a case, shook it up, and took it out, racked it back, and then pulled the trigger. Unfortunately, it was not able to pass that test with flying colors. It still passed, but it actually had filled up the GI style plug, or slide plug, or recoil and guide rod plug on the end here, and would only let the slide retract that far. And then it would go forward. So, I mean, if I had dropped this in any kind of sand, I think it would be fine, but obviously if this GI plug ever got filled up, I think it would still fire like that, but I mean, that's still a downside. Another downside to this is I've noticed this other ambidextrous safety is not very solid. I actually had to go in and tighten the fit between this one and the primary safety, as it has a little bit of play, and that was definitely magnified, or it was definitely it was definitely a lot worse before I went ahead and tightened that up. So there's definitely a couple things to look out for, and another thing is you got some standard wear from holster wear and whatnot. But I mean, overall, this gun has really been impressive. It really is nice. And now I have to say that, but I also have gone in and completely disassembled this, take all the crappy factory grease out, and threw some Hops number 9 in there and just scrubbed away. It was quite dirty. That crappy grease they use from the factory is just not good. So I went in there and then I took some rim oil, or some non-petroleum based product oil, gun oil, which is very rare for whatever reason. For me, at least, I can't exactly find it anywhere. And I went ahead and I lubed up the seals over here, and it's very nice. It's very efficient now. And I lubed up the gas mag. Very good stuff. Now make sure, whenever you decide to use a non-silicone airsoft oil, make sure on the label it says non-petroleum based product. Make sure that has that, because I've made the mistake of going ahead and eating my blowback housing away by using petroleum silicone oil. So like WD-40 and stuff like that, do not use. So I mean, overall, that's pretty much my update for both of my handguns. So yeah, I've been really pleased with them, and I really like them, and there's no there's definitely going to be a future in Bishop's in the Bishop's Airsoft Armory if there ever wasn't one. So yep, that is pretty much my update for my handguns. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and look out for some other videos. All right, bye.